What is Esperanto and why would anybody want to learn it? That's what I'm going to show you right here. A few things have changed since I made this video in 2015 and 2016. Beard's gone, lost a little weight, kids have gotten taller, but there's a lot of good information in this film and I wanted to show it to you under a new light. I actually have two videos I'm going to show you today. The first video is from my old YouTube channel and the second one I did with my family in 2016. Esperanto is a language that was invented in 1887 and it was designed to be an easily learned second language. Amelia, what's Esperanto?
It's a language that was created by Zamenhof.
Is there anything else we want to say about Esperanto?
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun? What are the words like? What are the words? Where did it come from?
It's a Latin-based language with some Germanic roots thrown in there as well, from what I can see.
And it was designed to be easily learned and neutral, so that rather than telling all the French people they need to learn English and having all the French people telling us that we need to learn French, we all learn Esperanto and meet halfway.
Right.
The dream at the time was that people would just rush in and learn that language and it would solve all sorts of international communication problems. The result now, more than 125 years later, it's the sort of thing that people get into if they're interested in languages, if they're interested in other cultures, if they're interested in meeting people, making friends. Why I learned it, I enjoy telling the story about my first exposure to Esperanto. I certainly have known a little bit about what Esperanto is, even since grade school. But certainly a lot of people come up to me or hear me speaking Esperanto with my children, so they'll tell me they've never heard of it. Certainly I was sort of aware that Esperanto was a thing. I saw a little bit about it in Red Dwarf. I remember learning about it in grade school, the unit on languages. I didn't think that anybody really spoke it, but my first exposure to the World Wide Web was with a text browser, and I was reading all sorts of articles. And I found one that was written in Esperanto, and I imagined this guy off in a room somewhere, just sort of looking everything up on a grammar table, looking everything up in a dictionary, and bam, he's got a little text in Esperanto that nobody's going to read. When I found out that people really spoke it, I thought, I wonder what this is. And I looked at it, and I wondered why it had so many J's and X's in it. Car coming down the street right there. En auto, My wife and I learned it together. This was in 1997. Initially, I think one of the things that drew us to it, besides just the idea of having a hobby or whatever we could do together, was that we could travel using what's called the Pasporta Servo, which is something that we did before kids. We went to Europe, and in this address book we looked up people who would let us sleep on their couch or whatever on the condition that we speak Esperanto. Made a lot of friends that way, people that we still know now, almost 20 years later. So, what else do we do with Esperanto? So there's something called Radio Verda that I was a part of. This is about 10 years ago. Did quite a few bits for this podcast that are sort of musical in nature and have to do with a singing squirrel that meets I'll just call him a heretic, somebody who speaks a different language. And they first aren't friends, and then eventually they become friends. Anyway, so just great. Keep watching. More to come. I'll be right back with my family in about 2 seconds. Saluton, parolas Tomaso.
Saluton, mi estas Dana.
Saluton, mi estas Amelia.
Saluton, mi estas Jonah.
Saluton, mi estas Lugano.
Kai ni estas
la familio Alexander.
The original playlist with the videos right here. What was the last time you spoke Esperanto with somebody outside of the family?
Actually, at school, my friend was sending me messages in Esperanto using Google Translate.
Oh, I remember you told me that one. It's kind of funny. And
And his friend didn't have any clue that Jonah even spoke Esperanto.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. If somebody just thought it would be funny to translate something in Esperanto and happened to be that Jonah understood that.
Yes.
What are the odds?
But what do we do in October for Esperanto?
Are.
Are. And what's that?
It's a gathering where we go out and see stuff.
So in the Lake George, this year we had just about 50 people there.
From Canada, the U.S.
I do have some information about Are, because that's one of the things we like to do at Are is we put together a song or two.
Yep.
Amelia, what did we do this summer, you and me and Jonah?
We went to Nask.
All right. What's NASC? Do you know what that stands for?
No.
North America. Do you know, Logan?
North America.
We'll put it up on the screen.
Something convention.
It's up on the screen. What does it stand for? North America.
Somera Corsa.
Yes. Somera Corsaro, I think it is. That was also about 50 people at the William Pace University. I say William Peace. I say that wrong every time. William Peace University. We had classes all morning, and then we kind of goofed off and visited with people and had evening programs for the rest of the day. If you're in the US or Canada, there are a lot of events you can go to. Landa Congreso, Nask, Are, Norek, Per, Kai, Mekaro. There's 6 that spring off the top of my head.
What do I do with Esperanto?
Yeah.
Well, I go to Are.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Nask. When I was first learning, I had a whole bunch of pen pals from various different countries, because it was in the time before the internet was the main communication tool. I had to actually write on a piece of paper.
It was after the invention of movable print.
It was, yes, but it wasn't the prime way of communicating, so I had some pen pals in Brazil and France.
Amelia, you have a pen pal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun for Amelia. We spoke Esperanto at home for quite a few years.
Yes.
And so Jonah's first words were in Esperanto.
Yeah.
And as each child came along, we spoke a little bit less and less. And Amelia, a couple years ago, found out there was a girl about her age that was looking for a pen pal. That's been a lot of fun for you to get to know somebody your own age.
And they've met several times and hung out on various trips for
Nask.
our San Crocodile sa Main Finoy.
Oh yeah, we organize different events around Rochester, New York, and around the
Northern
region.
Pennsylvania area too.
A lot of times what we do is we try to find somebody who lives a certain distance away, meet halfway, and then invite other speakers to come out and meet us there.
Yeah.
There's something to do every time of the year in North America for Esperanto. Jonah, as we were making plans, he said that he likes to use it to say things that his friends won't understand. Which just reminds me, sometimes we can use it as a secret language, which is also fun. Now that you know what Esperanto is, click on this playlist right here and find out more about what we do on Esperanto Variety Show and how you can use Esperanto too. I'll see you right over here.